At the beginning, we used the word sustainable, but I think everyone else started using it, and it's kind of lost. Like when all the big banks started saying that they were sustainable,
load of
planting a couple of trees somewhere, or a bit of carbon offset. Like we didn't feel like it was appropriate to keep saying the word sustainable, because like with B Corps, we went through a B Corp certification, and we do really genuinely, passionately care about it. We always have. I'd say our proudest dishes are all the ones that have that deeply rooted, sustainable sort of mantra running through them. I think for me, it's Cod's Head. I find it incredible that you can get something that, like we created a supply chain for the Cod's Head, because when we first got it, it was trim. Now we get it as a direct product from the ships, and it comes. We never know how much is going to come in, which is an absolute pain in the arse. But like it depends on what they've landed, and they still land a lot of cod. So we get them from different ships all over the place. Now we pay for them now, whereas we didn't before. So it means that it's actually, a food source which is now well and truly in the system, and other people are using it as well, which is, a really positive thing, I think. Not that we were first people to use fish heads, but like cod heads on that scale, we take a ton a week. So 100% it's created a market for that. I think for me, I think it's always about one thing that happens now, quite like the banana dish at Roe. Did you taste that?
It's unreal.
So that was, but that was one of those things where Alexandra.
Just for listeners, like that is just described because it looks like a banana.
Yeah,
it's like a parfait.
It's a banana parfait with a beautiful fresh banana jam inside, and it's served with the banana skin and a Nesquik banana caramel, because it didn't have enough fake banana flavor, so we made it a bit more like Nesquik-y. It's, to be honest, my favorite dish on all of the menus, and I love that dish because it took us 2.5 years. It was on the original Fallow menu as a banana split.
Right.
We never managed to make the skin edible, and then
was that what? How come?
It's just too hard to make it taste good.
Right. Okay.
We're never going to put something on just because it's sustainable. Like some places, like, oh, this is foraged, or this is, it's like, oh, great. It tastes like weeds or something like that. Yeah. So like it always has to taste banging, otherwise it still won't go on the menus just because it's a sustainable product. But this banana dish, Alex had said to us from Premier, if you find a use for bananas, we can supply you with basically it's the biggest waste product. Bananas and bread, the biggest domestic waste product. We can supply you with black bananas, green bananas, any banana you want, wonky bananas, 2 big bananas. So she said you can make a load of money off bananas if you can create a dish for it. And that's what stimulated a 2-year process of trying to get the skin edible enough to serve on the dessert and use the entire banana as our signature dish. And eventually, Zhao, our executive pastry chef, he cured it in sugar for sugar syrup, infused with vanilla for 2 weeks, and then it completely breaks it down, scraped it down, flash fried it at 170, and then refried it and dried it, and it's like a beautiful banana vanilla crisp. So yeah, that's a good example of where it's we've taken a product which we knew was surplus, second-class bananas from our supplier. We've worked really, really hard with that product to get it, to the point where it's absolutely delicious, and then we put it on our menu, and it makes a good GP, but it's also absolutely delicious, and it's combating a little bit of food waste as well. So it's a win-win-win. It's one of those situations we strive for.
I think it's not about with regards to the food waste and the consciousness. It's not specifically about just what we're utilizing on a daily basis. It also goes back to that training and mentoring thing. We have now 100 chefs who are working with us. It's our responsibility to train them, not for their whole development, but we're definitely impacting on these guys' careers. It's our job to impact. We're trying to just impact some of the stuff that we've learned over the last 5 years and hand that down to the chefs below us. Because if all of the chefs that are coming through are thinking about it and doing some of the things that we're doing, it's only going to be better for the food chain and create a more sustainable environment in the hospitality industry as a whole. We're not saying, look at all the difference we've made using all these cod heads, and look at all the difference we made, because it's fucking tiny, right, in the grand scheme of things. But if those 100 chefs can take something from what we're doing and input, and then do the same, and then do the same, and do the same to all the people that are working with them in the future, that's going to that will make a bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger difference longer term.
Espressos is sponsored by supply chain software gurus Unleashed. It talks to your e-com and accounting software. It's helped islands cut admin time in half, get granular clarity on your margins, know where your stock is, don't miss availability. Brands like Candy Kittens, Tiny Rebel and Trip all use Unleashed, and so should you.